Last night we were privileged to listen to the appearance of Lord Ganesh and so how he got existence. Having existence, Lord Ganesh. He was well loved by his mother and his father. Our parents love us, but how much do we love them? The Garud Puran, the book that talks about that, says the only way that we could repay the debt that we owe to mother and father is by performing the rituals of their death. But there must be some book that says, show your mother love and affection while they're alive and don't wait to repay the debt when they're dead. Actually, our scripture does say that. Because it says to us, service to God is service to man. And when our mothers and our fathers, they become happy, then God in the heavens become happy. All devatas, one day they decided that they will go to meet with Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, for they wanted to see the son of Shiva and Parvati, whose name was Ganesh. They wanted to see. Have you ever wanted to see somebody really bad? Or meet with some person really bad? Have you ever heard of the birth of a child in the home, in the family, and you can't wait to go and meet the baby or to see the baby? The old people, they may not have had plenty, but do you know that every child that was born into the family had a piece of gold with their name written on it? Because every grandmother and every grandmother will give a little piece of jewelry to that child. Who could have afforded it? And if not, they would have given that little bead that was called a Malju bead to the little child. Or some form of, some token will be given to the child to welcome the child. All devatas, they plotted, they planned that they wanted to see this Ganesh. They wanted to meet with him. And so making their way, they made an arrangement that all devatas will meet in one place. They will gather in one place together first before they go to Mount Kailash. And they decided that they will go to Brahmalok, the abode of Lord Brahma. Have you ever had to go out and you made an arrangement to have a meeting place? If I have to meet you in that place and you call me because I'm late and you ask me where I am, I'll say right around the corner. If you're intelligent, you'll ask me which corner. Thinking that they will meet each other at Brahmalok, the abode of Brahma, all devatas, they dressed in their finest clothes and their finest jewelry. What occasion permits you to dress in the finest clothes that you have? What occasion will you dress for in the finest clothes that you have? Ari? A wedding? Do you know that we get dressed to go to a wedding and 99.9% of the time, nobody notices you? And do you know why? It is because everybody is wearing their finery. And when you are wearing your finery sometimes makes you so uncomfortable that all you're thinking about is your dress and your pants and holding and pulling and tugging, and you have no time to enjoy anything because your clothes that makes you look good makes you feel so uncomfortable. And so, dressed in their finery, all of them, they made their way to Brahmalok. Meeting in Brahmalok, they started to discuss with each other. What are they saying to each other? Listen. Shriman Narayan ne Narayan ne Narayan, Bhajman Narayan ne Narayan ne Narayan.
Shriman Narayan Narayan Narayan, Bhajman Narayan Narayan Narayan.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. वेश पे भाट का चरण लगेंगे, देखो और भगवान शंकर की महोत पार्वती क्या लेकिन करने The Devatas started to discuss, think. We're going to the realm of Lord Shiva and Mata Parvati. And going there, how will we go now? With our hand empty, not taking something with us. Have you ever been invited to some function and you don't want to go, and the reason you don't want to go is because you have nothing to carry? Have you ever experienced that before? Because you know the person who invited you will expect some form of gift or token from you. And so, making their way to Mount Kailash, they had to take something with them. So what will they do? The Devatas together, they manifested a bowl, golden in color. And Mahalakshmi herself filled this bowl with laddu. Pulling this bowl with laddu, the Devatas now had something that they will take. But they started to think, an ordinary bowl of laddu we will take. When Lord Shiva and Mata Parvati sees this, they will begin to laugh. Have you ever gotten a gift and when you... Have you ever gotten or received a gift and when you see it, you smile? And in your mind you begin to think, what will I do with this? Where will I put this? Of what use this will be to me? Trinidadians, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Have you ever received a gift that you have several of the same thing already? Have you ever tried to give somebody a gift that you got as a gift and you got caught? I get catch all the time. Now, when the people close to me, they're giving me gifts. They say, we are giving you the gift, but promise us you will not give it away. That's the mantra that they give it with, not Krishna Arpanam. Promise that you will not give away what I am giving to you. How will we take this ordinary bowl of laddu to present it to Lord Shiva and Mata Parvati, when Lord Shiva is Jagatapita, the father of the entire creation? Then when they see this, they will laugh. They will laugh at us. Lord Brahma, using his power, Lord Brahma says, today I bless this bowl, that may this bowl never go empty, and may this bowl continue to multiply. Now take the bowl to Lord Shiva and Mata Parvati. The Devatas begin to march to Mount Kailash. शिव के नाशों की बांसी डोरी डारों की राजा शंकर संकट हरेना शंकर संकट हरेना शिव के नाशों की बांसी डोरी डारों की राजा शंकर संकट हरेना ओ बोले बाबा शंकर संकट हरेना तेरे कैलाशों का अंत न पाया तेरे कैलाशों का अंत न पाया अंत बेअंत तेरी माया ओ बोले बाबा अंत बेअंत तेरी माया शंकर संकट हरना शंकर संकट हरना permit me to ask, if you have the opportunity to go to Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, and you know that you're going to meet them, and you have a choice to take anything at all, there is no limit as to what you can take, then what will you carry? What will you choose to carry? One day we sat right here, in this very same arrangement, four of you and myself. And I said to all four of you, go to your wardrobes and bring the best suit of clothes that you could find, new or otherwise. Do you remember that? I said, go into your jewelry box and find the best piece of jewelry, the piece that you call the best, and bring it. I said to you, go on your dresser and find the perfume that you love the most. Go and bring it. And I said to you, when you're coming back, don't just bring that. Bring your wallet and make sure it has money in it. Can you remember that? Some years ago. This year. I said, go, bring it. And everybody was confused and scampering, and they went, taking a while to come back. And everybody came back holding. But just as it is difficult to go in the wardrobe and cipher which one is the best, or just as it is difficult to go and find the perfume that smells the best, because we only have the best. We only have what we think is the best. We'll only have the jewelry that we like. It was a lesson. Everything that we have and we own is the best. It is the best. And as we held those articles in our hands, we chanted a mantra and we said, God, this is what you have blessed us with. Today we offer this to you with devotion, giving thanks for what you have blessed us with. The Devatas had a choice to take anything, and they chose a bowl of laddu. What will you choose? Ari? Think about it. Ashish, what will you choose? Anything at all. Holding their bowls, that single bowl, they all happy and marching to Mount Kailash. Sometimes it isn't necessarily the gift, but it's the whole attitude and thought that goes into giving the gift is what makes the big difference. It's not the price, you know. They say the best gift we'll ever get comes in a small package. Have you ever heard that before? I recently got a gift that came in a big package, and to me, that's the best gift I ever got. And so, marching. Tonight, you think for a moment. If I have a choice to carry something to Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, what will it be? Think for a moment and ask yourself. Lord Shiva was happy to see them. Ever had a guest come to your home and you're so excited, that person just makes the entire place feel alive and alight? Ever had a guest come to your home and you say, oh God, I wonder when they'll go home? Holding this bowl, they all held the bowl together. All the Devatas. They all held the very same bowl. And holding the bowl, they presented it. And Lord Shiva turned to the Devi. And the Devi stretched her hands. And the Devi accepted the bowl. When we have to give a gift, maybe we go to a wedding, or we always feel more comfortable mentally when we give the gift that we are carrying to the mother of the home. True or not? We feel as though not that she's the boss, but she will acknowledge that something came. Whereas there is no guarantee that the father will remember. So too Lord Shiva looks at Mother Parvati, and Mother Parvati stretches her hands and she receives the bowl. And accepting the bowl, Mother Parvati holds this bowl. All devatas beautifully dressed, and Mount Kailash in a neat array. Ever had guests to your home and mentally you're uneasy because you know that the house not clean? Mentally you're saying, I hope they don't ask to go to the bathroom because it surely is in a mess. Or mentally you're saying, I hope they don't ask for food because we don't have nothing to eat. And mentally, quickly in your mind, you begin to think and all sorts of thoughts going through your mind. Mount Kailash was clean and tucked away as clean will be. But the devatas noticed something. Not only Mount Kailash was tucked away, it was as though the children were tucked away as well. The children were nowhere to be seen. And though the devatas went with the intention of seeing the children, just by the pleasant disposition of Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati and the way they accepted the gift, the devatas did not ask for the children. Long ago, it was a tradition that when you were having a function, especially when it required the elders of the family coming and attending, the home was tucked away and everything was perfect in its place. And the children were tucked away as well, because the children were never allowed to participate in the adult event. The children always had something planned separately for them, and they were never allowed to mingle with the adults. Remember that? In 2020, you don't know who is the father and who is the son. And actually, the father pouring a drink for the son. Baba, better he drink in front of me so I could see. The father's lighting the cigarette for his son. Baba, better he smoke in front of me so I could see. And that kind of behavior is what allows our children to go astray. Do you know the adults still today that their fathers and mothers are alive, but they will never take a drink in front of their father of alcohol or anything else because of the respect that they have for mother and father? Do you know there are sons who are old and have children and grandchildren, and they will not smoke? Actually, their mother and father doesn't know for a fact. They may have heard or suspected, but they don't know for a fact that their son smokes. Because that is the respect that we had for mother and father in time gone by. And I'm saying had, because we no longer have that respect. We no longer care. And so, presenting this bowl and Mother Parvati accepting it, what will happen? The devatas turned and they were about to leave. And leaving there, Lord Shiva goes into meditation. But as he goes into meditation, something is about to happen. What happens?
Ekata dera tera chambe de chogana. Ekata dera tera chambe de chogana. Dujalai par beta mora. O bhole baba dujalai par beta mora. कैलाशों के वासी धोरी धारों के राजा शंकर संकट हरना शंकर संकट हरना.
As the devatas leave, appearing out of nowhere, Lord Ganesh and Kartika, they appear. And appearing, both of them, they begin to gaze at their mother. They're not looking at their mother because of their mother. They're looking at her because of this bowl. For those who have experienced this will be able to understand what I'm about to say. When you're accustomed to going home to hot food on an evening from work or school or wherever, actually the first thing you do from the time you walk in the door, Ma, what you cook? That's the mantra. And then mother has to say, so what about Seetahal, or good evening, or how are you, or how was your day? And you say, well, I'm hungry. You open the pot, two things happen. Either you get ready to eat right away, or you close it down and you say, that's where you cook. I don't want that. But do you know that the time comes when we regret the many times we closed down that pot and didn't eat what we could have gotten? Because the day that mother is not there and you go into the kitchen and there are many pots but no food, the reality kicks in. They say our mother is the best cook. But you want to find a cook better than our mother? Check grandmother. Check grandmother, because mother learned from her mother. And so there is a possibility that she might be able to cook almost good like her mother, but not as good. And that's a fact. The children gaze at Mother Parvati and they're not gazing at her because of her. They're gazing at her because of the bowl that she is holding. There are many people who look at us because of what we have, but nobody looks at the hard work. Nobody looks at. From morning till now, it's the first time Nigel is sitting down. There are several times during the day, because I actually probably spend the entire day in his company. I tried to get him to sit down, because he's busy doing what he's not supposed to be doing, where other people could be doing, and he could sit and just observe and make sure. But do you know there are some people, it is just in their nature to get up and help and work and do. Do you know there are some people, it's just in their nature not to do nothing? Why are you all looking at me like that? There's some people, it is just in their nature to be lazy and negative and tired. Now get up in the morning and done yawning hard. But there are people who would have gotten up and already finished their work for the day and now relaxing. The old people, 4 o'clock in the morning, they don't get up. Done bathe and done ringing bell and saying puja and offering flowers and chanting mantra. One day, I spent the night at the home of Auntie Toma, and I fell asleep on the couch. And the agarbatti sometimes stifle me. And early in the morning, I'm smelling the agarbatti, so I got up. And then in the dark, because it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm seeing the light coming, the aarti. And in my mind, I'm saying some kind of bhoot, some kind of spirit is in the house. So I immediately fly up, and when I see it coming towards me, I go back down and I pull the sheet and I'm peeping. And then I see it over me waving, and in my mind I'm saying, what is this? Because I know for a fact that Auntie Toma will not get up that morning, that hour of the morning. I know that. And then when I peep, I see it's her mother-in-law. I say, Mama, what you doing? She said, I'm doing your aarti. I say, Mama, they only do aarti for people lying down who dead. Wait till I get up and then you'll do my aarti. She said, lying down, sitting down, is still you. I'm doing your aarti. And I said, don't do my aarti. Let me do your aarti. And you bless me. Because you are grandmother. And I am grandson. Do you know every day she will do that aarti with that agarbatti through the whole house? It's a pity that nobody in that home followed that tradition when she died. Because when you die, all of those good traditions die with you. And had the grandchildren been born before that lady died, I know that that tradition would have lived on. But who will teach who? Because everybody is so busy and caught up in their own lives, and the children look at Mata Parvati and none of them grab or try to take it away. They look at her and both of them, they start to say, Ma, we want. We want. And she says, well then I can divide, I can share. Lord Ganesh immediately stretches his hand. Kartikeya says, I want, but I don't want to share. I want, but I don't want to share. Do you know there are some people, it is just in their nature to give and to share. Do you know there are some people, it is just in their nature to be, have you ever heard that word, stingy? It is just in their nature to be stingy. There is a pack of milk in the fridge. So every time they drink some, they put a marker. So if somebody drink from it, they will know. If ever I am in a home or live in a place where somebody is putting a marker to measure, well, for spite, even if I don't eat or like what it is, I eat it all. I'm drinking all. There is some level to being possessive. But I don't think that we should be possessive over things to eat and drink. And do you know the mother and the father? The father equally. If they're eating anything and the children pass, they would feel no how. Even if the father passed by the mother plate, she will feel no how but to take up and give it to her husband. Pass by the child plate and take up something now. See what will happen. Make a joke and just take something from the plate and see what will happen. You might have to sleep under your bed. Actually, you might have to go and sleep under a tree outside. This comes with good teachings from Mother and Father. To know that it is in giving that we will always have and we will always be blessed. Lord Shiva smiles and seeing his children. How will he do? He opens his eyes and Lord Shiva speaks. What is he saying? भगवान शंकर के कथा का जो भी का पूजन करने, जिसने का सबसे का भीतर का पूजन नहीं करते हैं, जिसमें का सोचने हो गया का कटोरे का दिया करने. Both of you, he's saying to his sons, before we can decide who will have this bowl, since Kartikeya does not want to share, then both of you must perform the greatest worship that you think you can do. The greatest worship that you think you can do. Do that worship. What is the greatest worship that we can do? In the time of Ganesh Chaturthi, this is the greatest worship. In the time of Shivratri, praying to the Lingam is the greatest worship. But far more superior than all of those things, what is the greatest worship that we can do? Kartikeya, hearing, immediately he jumps on his peacock and flies away. And Kartikeya goes to every single holy spot. And he begins to bathe in all the holy rivers. He's performing Tirat worship. And while he has left, he has gone. Lord Ganesh takes his shawl off of his shoulder. And taking the shawl off of his shoulder, Lord Ganesh places it around the neck of his mother. Placing the shawl around the neck of his mother, Lord Ganesh takes the serpent from around his waist and places it like a mala around the neck of his father, cooling the neck of his father. The Damaru of Lord Shiva begins to shake. And it is as though echoing from the heavens itself, a voice is saying, Mata Pita tum mere, Sharan kaho किसकी स्वामी शरण कहो किसकी तुम बिन और मैं दूजा प्रभु बिन और न दूजा आस करूं मैं जिसकी ओम जय जगदीश हरे. He sits in front of them. Taking the feet of his father, he places it on his lap. Taking the feet of his mother, he places it on his lap. Using his two hands, he is squeezing the feet of his father. And using his trunk, he is squeezing the feet of his mother. Massaging, tickling as though. And Mother Parvati begins to giggle. Somebody ever tried to tickle you under your feet? From the time we see the little children, we put our fingers under the foot and we begin to tickle. And so Mother Parvati giggling, at that time Kartikeya appears. He looks at Lord Ganesh and Kartikeya utters some words. What is he saying? Listen to what he is saying. अर्थ में जब तक का कार्तिकेय का तार दिया होते उसके का या का उसके का ग्राम सभी का गणेश का अपने माता पिता का चरणों में अपने का सिर जुम करने वाले हैं. Kartikeya starts to boast about all the places he went. Do you know there are many people who boast about all the holy places they've been to? But it's a pity that they went to many holy places and they never changed the way they live and the way they... It's a pity. They never learn how to be humble and simple. And so Kartikeya boasting away. Mother Parvati is laughing and Kartikeya thinks that she is laughing at what he is saying, smiling with him, happy. Somebody ever smile with you and you look at them and in your mind you say, why do they have this fake smile? In your mind you're saying, why do they have this fake smile? I could see straight through it. Somebody ever fake smile you? Hello? I do have a big audience, so I have to ask you all the time. Somebody ever fake smile you? And you could know it's a fake smile? Recently, Pravesh got married. And in all the pictures, he's like... And I called him and I said, why are you looking like that? Like you're by the dentist, and he said to you, open wide. He said, because the photographer is only saying to me, show your teeth, show your teeth. I said, so it is your wedding. The least you could look is pleasant while you are smiling. Kartikeya thinks that Mother Parvati is smiling and happy because of what he is saying. And when he realizes that Ganesh is playing with the feet of his mother, Kartikeya becomes upset. And Kartikeya's attention is now on Lord Ganesh, and he says, I know. I left you here and I came back and I met you here, and I know the reason why you didn't move is because you're so fat. It's because you're so fat and you can't move. And that's the reason why you're sitting down here and you're squeezing their foot. But I have been to so much holy places that I have performed devotion. Every single place that I went, I prayed. And so here I am. I'm sure the laddu belongs to me. I want to tell you, in case nobody ever said to you, out of your vocabulary you should erase the line, you are looking fat. Never say that to anybody. Never tell anybody that, whether how close or how far or what kind of relationship you have. MYOB, mind your own business. Do you know there are people who try their best to lose weight and to fit in, and they will diet for months and not eat flour and not eat sugar and not eat rice and go to sleep drinking green tea. And then somebody will just watch them out of nowhere and say, How are you looking fat so? And while everybody else will say that that person is looking slim, then that one person will come and say you're looking fat. And it will shatter the entire mindset of that person. I have a philosophy. I have a new way of thinking. You could only eat how much you could eat, you know. You can't eat more than you could eat, and that's a fact. It is a reality. Whatever you are eating, sit down and before you eat, put your hands over your food and say, I'm asking you, God, that I'm about to eat this food, but may this food not only nourish my body, nourish my existence. I'm energizing this food with my positive energy and nullifying the fat in it. I'm begging you. Mother Parvati, hearing how Kartikeya is speaking with the brother, Mother Parvati and Lord Shiva, they remain quiet. Ever see the children fighting? And you just remain quiet because you want to see what the outcome will be? They remain quiet, and Kartikeya and Lord Ganesh, they begin. Actually, Kartikeya continues to aggravate Lord Ganesh. But Lord Ganesh remains quiet. Being silent is a virtue, you know. Do you know? Being quiet is a blessing. And so, remaining quiet, what will happen? Listen, he tells us. गणपति गणेश को उमापति महेश को मेरा ही प्रणाम
गणपति गणेश को उमापति महेश को मेरा ही प्रणाम है।
Mother Parvati takes the bowl and she hands it over to Lord Ganesh. And as Lord Ganesh receives the bowl, immediately he wastes no time. He says to Kartikeya, he says, I've listened to everything that you said to me, and you have said to me that I am fat. I accept that. But listen to what I have to tell you. This bowl that I am holding in my hand does not belong to me alone. Anytime you feel as though you want to eat from this bowl belongs to both of us. You can eat from this bowl anytime that you want, and anytime that you choose to. And Kartikeya smiles. Lord Ganesh says, Kartikeya, and then I tell you, the only time I will ever eat from this bowl is when you eat first. Kartikeya says, well, I make a vow, I will never eat from this bowl. And Lord Ganesh says, well, the option is yours. And so only when you eat first, then I will eat. The Ganesh Puran says, though Lord Ganesh holds this bowl in his hand, he has never eaten from this bowl. And holding that bowl in his hand is symbolic of all the things that we hold in our hand that we call mine, is mines. Though we hold it in our hand, what is really ours? What is really ours? What really belongs to us? Nothing is ours. Nothing. And so, holding the bowl, Kartikeya says, when I make the vow, I will never eat. And so Lord Ganesh holding this bowl of laddu, the bowl that will never have a limit. Tonight I want to tell you that when we pray to Lord Ganesh and we pray sincerely, His blessings will flow through us to the world around us abundantly with no limit. But we must be pure. We must be pure. Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai.